Good afternoon. Um, my name is Joseph Lopez. I have been a counselor for approximately 12 years, and I've worked on a master schedule course offerings, um, 7 of those 12 years. Um, Prior to coming to BTW, Booker T. Washington High School, I was employed by Aldine ISD at MacArthur High School. So I've had my experiences at a big 5A school that offered numerous electives, a lot of course offerings to 3,000 students. And then I've had my experiences here at Booker T. Washington that we had to, we created, sorry, we created a course offerings for 800 students. And the one thing I can tell you is that it has to start with student centered needs. You have to start with uh, the kids you're serving, what they need to be successful, what they and and so you pair that up. You look at that, and you pair that up with what the teachers are able to provide, what the teachers are able to give back to the students. So the driving force is the student and what they need, and then we pull it together, and then we look at um, how best how best to serve the stakeholders, the kids. Oftentimes we start with our core classes. We try to um, we try to we probably try to schedule the core basic courses in the middle of the day, um, starting at the beginning of the day, and then spread them out. We find that the kids that are arriving late, we try to schedule maybe an elective course, maybe something, um, maybe a PE course, uh, not an intervention course. So we try to schedule that at the beginning of the day, and then it also gives them an incentive to try to make it to school on time. And so then by the time they get to school, they have their breakfast, they wake up, they get going. Hopefully, they are better able to manage uh, their their behavior. They're being tired from the night before, and they get into the groove of learning by 9 or 10 o'clock. Um,
Attention in the building, attention in the building. The time is now 4:12. The time is now 4:12, and we are asking that all students please step out of the building. We will begin to close the big metal gates in the next 5 minutes. All gates will be closed in the next 5 minutes. Thank you.
okay, so I apologize for that. That is the dismissal. It is at the end of the day, and so we're trying to get the kids out of the building. But okay, so where was I at? So then you look at your needs. So back to the course offerings. So then you look at your needs and you try to schedule where your kids are going to be most served at. So it's going to be the English, math, history, and science. Um, and we try to put those at the midday point. Um, the class that is held right before lunch and the class is held right after lunch. Reason being, a lot of the kids they get here late, and so we get them into the elective. I already explained that, and so after lunch, we find that some of the kids come up with excuses to leave, um, and so they may go to one more class, and then they choose to leave, or they have doctor's appointments or things of that nature, or maybe go to work, and we find that that's best serve the kids if we can get most of their classes in there. Um, it's funny because I came from a school who had the block scheduling first and switched to periods, and so I came to Booker T and they were switching from periods going to block. And the one thing I've noticed on both of them is that it seems to be the teachers complained when they moved to period, because they didn't have enough time to start the instruction period. Um, and so when we moved from period to block here, there was a little pushback from the teachers, but once they realized that it's for the good of the students, um, now the teachers are better able to plan and have the lesson ready to last an hour and a half. So that being said, um, so you have to look at your time. What course offerings are you going to have, and um, what what structure of the day are you going to set up? Are you going to do the periods? Or are you going to do block? Um, so you have to look at that and how best to serve them. Now, some of the schools, they do have seventh periods, and we have 8 periods, 8 blocks, where the kids are able to earn. If they don't fail any courses at all, they will be able to earn 32 credits at the end of their academic year. Now we know in HISD we only need 26 to get um, distinguished achievement, and there is a minimum foundation plan of 22 credits that the kids are able to opt into. But with the block system being set up, it's more than enough opportunity to get the credits that they need. So once you figure out how best to serve the kids and their needs, then you figure out the course times and the periods, how you want to set it up, and so then you go and then you do that. And then you start to look at your how best the intervention periods. We're going to offer this course. We're going to offer this intervention. We're going to do this course, and most of the time, it's your basic English 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be your sciences, bio, chem. It'll be algebra 1, algebra 2. But then there'll be those kids that are struggling. So those kids that are struggling, we try to offer an intervention course where the kids can get extra help in that subject matter that gives them the most difficulty. Then you have the and you have the other group of kids that are also excelling in everything. They just eat it up. Like you give them a subject matter, and it's just boom, they got it. You explain it to them one time, and they just take off. They just get it. So those group of kids, it's kind of like the opposite. It's kind of like so those kids, they enjoy being in school. They're eating it up. So those kids, you can actually schedule the course offerings. You can schedule their core classes in the morning, and their career and technology classes. You can offer them in the morning, and they'll be there. They won't miss it. Um, you try to sprinkle electives throughout the day. So you try to do some reading courses, interventions throughout the day for anybody who needs it. You try to sprinkle the career and technology courses throughout the day. Anybody who needs it. A lot of times you put your band. You create a band schedule where you put your band schedule where the core classes will be off, or they'll have a common planning period. Um, and so that offers a place. So when the core classes is off or having their common planning period, then when you're scheduling, then those students have an instructor to go to, a subject to go to, and so well, I didn't think about that. So I guess yeah. So yeah, that's how it works. It's a lot. It's hard to describe it in a video, I guess, because it actually takes a long time to do. This process that I'm trying to explain, it actually takes 2 to 3 months to get it done, because you're looking at the courses, you're looking at your kids coming in, you're talking to your feeder schools, you're talking to teachers who are going to come back, who won't come back. You're looking at their certifications. You're looking at the district, what they're saying to cover. You're looking at what the state saying that you have to offer. You have to make sure your graduates are able to have access to those classes. That's another thing that you have to look at. You have to be able to offer the classes that the kids need to graduate. Now, if they take the course and they fail it, then it becomes their responsibility to come back on. Now we do offer classes to help, but it does in the end, it does in the end say, come back and say, well, we did offer you, we tried to put you in there, you didn't pass it. Okay, now let's see where we can do a credit recovery and try to help you with it. But you do have to make sure that you offer the subject more than one time to make sure your students have the opportunity to take it. So that being said, it's a really long process in creating a course offering uh, schedule. So I hope I helped in trying to explain this process of the course offerings. Um, it really it is really more difficult to explain it in 10 to 15 minutes than the 3 to 4 months it takes to create, and you're looking at your data and you're trying to do the best thing possible for your students. Okay, so I hope this helps, and if there's any ever questions or anything, you can find me at Booker T. Washington High School. I'm here all day long working on scheduling. Okay, thank you and peace out.